We often treat names as generic labels. But in the ancient world, a name was a blueprint of power. In a forgotten desert 3,000 years ago, a fugitive named Moses demanded to know the identity of the voice speaking from a burning bush. The response he received wasn't a title, it was a paradox that broke human logic: I am who I am. This wasn't a theology lesson. It was an emergency broadcast. God never revealed his names in a peaceful classroom, he revealed them in crime scenes, barren deserts, and military ambushes. Let's decode the 12 secret names revealed only when humanity hit rock bottom. Before space and time existed, there was Elohim. It's a plural noun using singular verbs, the first hint of a multidimensional, relational creator who holds absolute authority before your problems even begin. Fast forward centuries later to a 99-year-old man named Abraham, whose future was biologically dead. In that hollow space, God introduces himself as El Shaddai. While often translated as Almighty, its ancient root connects to a mother nursing her child, a self-contained source of life. El Shaddai means, I am enough when you are completely depleted. When Abraham successfully rescued hostages from a coalition of tyrannical kings, he met a mysterious priest who worshipped El Elyon, the God Most High. This name was a shield against arrogance, proving that human strategy doesn't win battles, a higher authority does. But El Elyon isn't just distant. He is also El Roi, the God who sees. This name wasn't given by a king or a prophet, but by Hagar, an abused, discarded Egyptian slave running for her life in the wilderness. To a world that treated her as invisible, God said, I see you. You are never hidden from his gaze. On Mount Moriah, as Abraham raised the knife over his son, a ram was suddenly discovered caught in a thicket. He named the place Yahweh Jireh, the Lord will provide. In Hebrew, it literally means, to see ahead. God didn't invent a solution on the spot, the ram was walking up the hill before Abraham even arrived. Later, in the desert, millions of refugees found water at Marah, but it was toxic and bitter. God ordered a piece of wood thrown into the pool, turning it sweet, and revealed himself as Yahweh Rophi, the Lord who heals. He doesn't give you a map to avoid bitter places, he meets you inside them to alter their chemistry. When the Amalekites ambushed Israel, victory depended on Moses keeping his hands raised on a hill. When his arms grew heavy, his friends held them up until sunset. Moses called the altar Yahweh Nissi, the Lord is my banner, our rallying point in chaos. Generations later, a terrified young farmer named Gideon was secretly threshing wheat inside a dark winepress to hide from invaders. A divine messenger called him a mighty warrior and promised Yahweh Shalom, the Lord is peace. Notice this, peace wasn't the trophy awarded after winning the war. It was the foundation Gideon had to stand on before the battle even began. King David, a man who fought lions and bears in the dark, wrote the famous words, Yahweh Roi, the Lord is my shepherd. This wasn't a peaceful, cozy image, it was a gritty declaration of a protector who stays awake in the wild to pull you out of the thorns. Centuries later, amidst political corruption and national collapse, the prophet Jeremiah pointed to Yahweh Tzidkenu, the Lord our righteousness, a promise that our standing before God is a free gift, not an earned status. Finally, the exile Ezekiel, staring at his burned city, received a vision of a new home called Yahweh Shammah, the Lord is there. His permanent address is right next to you. All these scattered historical codes collide into one single word in the New Testament, Emmanuel, God with us. This is the ultimate evolution of the names. He is no longer just providing from the outside or watching from a distance. He put on human skin, breathed our dust, and felt our pain. If you are empty today, El Shaddai is next to you. If you are fighting a battle too big for your strength, Yahweh Nissi is on the field. He is the Alpha and the Omega, walking directly into your worst moments, introducing himself with the exact name you need. Because I am means, I am whatever you need, whenever you need it, without end.